submissive.
That's how you gonna start the show. You're gonna start the show today.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's cool. That's just funny.
It just
That's
hit me.
fun. I know it did. So now when you go back, I'll explain it to you later. It's just a very interesting thing.
Sorry, viewers. Oh, interesting.
That's how you just want to go ahead and start the show.
That is interesting.
That's how we gonna start the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From, where the only requirement is to be where I come from. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf, back in the building on this glorious, I don't know what day it is. I just know it's March.
March 3rd.
Okay, March. I don't know. Is it 3rd? Oh my God.
March 3rd.
As we get ready to kick off Women's History Month, I am joined today by a very dear friend of mine's. Now, if you have been rocking with TDR, even all the way back in the Sherman Phoenix era, y'all know that TDR went up and down in regards to a lot of things that we tried to do, a lot of advancements and growths and stuff like that. This young lady right here actually is a very pivotal point in regards to that, because she came through in the clutch for me on several occasions, which makes her probably one of the original business besties for me. No, for real, that's a thing. Aww. Business besties is a thing here. You've been gone for a while, so you ain't figured things out. But I am joined by Aisha Carr. You may know her as a member of the board of directors for the Milwaukee Public Schools. You may know her as being unnecessarily controversial. You may know her as the individual who was, what was that you were working on? The feasible studies?
Oh, feasibility
study. Yeah,
study.
feasibility study.
4 day, 1 day. 4 day.
Yeah, 4 day, 1 day.
4-day school week.
Which I still think we should do this. Now that I got 2 kids that are fully integrated into school and literally watching how going to school affects them both physically, socially, emotionally, mentally, I really feel like 4x1 would have worked it perfectly.
We need it.
We definitely needed it. And we're not going to talk about the school board right now, because definitely I think y'all should go back and revisit that right now. I'm just saying. But you know what? We should. We said we was going to do that. We are. I'm going to go ahead and open up a school. And that's how my kids are going to go to school. Yep. Kids will go to school on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep. And Wednesday is
optional. But if you do come to school, it's going to be more activities than anything.
Or work placement.
Well, that for the high schoolers,
yeah.
Put them in
even middle school. Give them some hands-on learning.
I think that's where I'll give them more activities. I think I will want to cultivate their creativity more so.
Absolutely.
In the middle school area, because that's when they start to figure out what they want to do. Because, they always taught us if you were going to go to college, you got to start prepping in like the 7th and 8th grade. But college is not always a thing for anybody anymore.
No.
Like there are so many small businesses and entrepreneurs and trade and tech people out here now that we should literally push that as a narrative, as a viable option.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Little Billy don't like sitting in class all day. So what makes you think he's going to want to sit in class in school? But if you have him go to, let's say, MATC, where he's learning a craft that creates a career for him, you're allowing little Billy to have more control over, where his life goes. Like, I'm not saying going to college is a bad thing, but college ain't for everybody. I tried 3 times. I'm literally 16 credits away from an associate's degree in my late 40s, and I still don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I owe less than $10,000 in student loans. And I actually thought I was done until like this random student loan came out of nowhere. And I was like, we made this arrangement. We paid it all off. We took care of everything. It was like, nope, this one wasn't part of that package. This was somewhere else. Like, wow. Let me find out this is actually somebody else's loan.
Yeah.
And you just gave it to me.
Really expensive.
It's expensive for no reason. That's why I'm moving to Japan.
Yeah. Cognizant of that before you.
Everything is free.
Because you'll be paying a mortgage forever, but you'll pay that off before you pay your student loans off.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and that's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy. because I work in a career field right now where all I do is sit and watch people save their money. Like being in the mutual funds area and watching how generational wealth is being built by just simply putting your money up. People are not touching their funds. They are literally, I've had some people that completely forgot they even had one. And it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in there. And all they really did was back in the late 90s have like $50 come out their check.
Yep. Oh yeah.
All they did was have $50 come out their check. And they looked up, it's like, oh, okay, I got $80,000 in here. I'm like
80,000 what?
Because with it being the mutual funds, they're stocks that are kind of controlled.
Yeah.
So if the stock grew, your money grew. So you may have originally only put in total maybe $9,000 in there. But because you never touched it, it turned into 80. I got $1 million clients. Like they got buku money in there and they still putting money in there. I found out today that another trick that people do with generational wealth, especially when it comes to kids, is they'll open up these education accounts.
529 plans. And
they open up these education accounts, and then if the kid chooses not to go to school, they just roll it over to the next kid. Oh, okay, you're not going to school. Well, you can go to school. Oh, well, you're not going to school. We'll keep it for 30. You have kids. Okay, we'll roll it over to your kids. Like, it just keeps rolling over to the point where finally one decides to go to school and they take the money out for school. They may be sitting at $100,000.
Oh, I'm familiar. I had an account for my daughter.
See, smart girl. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about you. The last time me and you sat down and had a conversation was in 2022, 2023.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's been that long.
Yeah.
It's been that long. We initially did our regional interview here on Where I Come From, which is where we first built our friendship at. Then you came in and you did your feasible study conversation. And then you did your own live town hall.
Yep.
And then life
was life and then it was just I maybe made it look good.
Oh, you definitely
did. Or took the attention off of the lifing.
So what has been up with you recently?
I can answer that in so many different ways, but I'll stick to what many people know. I've been fighting, or I was fighting felony charges and some very I'd say heinous,
malicious,
very
just wrong. So
wrongful accusations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first one that put you on a lot of people's radars, the school board situation.
Yeah, all of it was school board.
It was all school board.
If we're being honest.
It was.
Even the second.
Right. The very first one was you not living in the district that you were representing.
Yes. I was accused of not being where I come from. Yes. Yep.
And I thought that was very, very funny because I didn't really think that it should matter. In my personal opinion, as long as you're within the realms of your district, I feel like it should be okay. I know for a fact that I personally know aldermen and superintendents and people who did not live in the areas they represented. Okay. So for you to be under scrutiny, and I think if I'm not mistaken, you moved because of your dad, right? Why were you not in the same district you were in though?
Well, clarify that question for me.
Okay, so I forgot I'm talking to a political person here.
No.
So, like, were you first and foremost, were you really living outside your district?
I was living outside of my district during my campaign.
Okay.
And there was a transitional period when I ran for office and when I was elected.
Okay.
And so there were newspaper articles about it because it's like, if you're going to win this election, what are you going to do in terms of residency? So that was out there.
Right.
It was not a secret that I was in District 5 versus the district that I was running for, which was District 4. So yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you did eventually move into the district.
I moved multiple times.
Right.
And here's the issue. One of the issues is this. So we're talking about a house, a home of mine that's on 2nd Street, right? And so if you're familiar with the lay of the land, I'll say,
of course,
you have 2nd Street going, was it north south,
right?
And then you have the street names east west. So you have Locust, and then you have Hadley,
right?
And so I'm in the middle of both of them.
Okay.
And so I'm say 2nd and Locust, right?
Right.
You go to the corner of 2nd and Hadley, and I go from District 5 to District 4.
So it was a technicality that they were bullshitting you with.
I mean,
because basically, if you cross the street, you're in where you're supposed to be at. All it takes is the city to just decide that they want to rezone the very next day, and you could be exactly where you need to be at without even moving. Absolutely. And I find that crazy because the city is known for rezoning.
Redistricting was a thing when I first ran.
Right. And I know that for a fact because it was multiple times when I would be considered living in 53219, and then I wake up the next day. Oh, your new zip code now is 53210. Yeah. And all it was because you guys decided you wanted to rezone for tax purposes. Mm-hmm. So for them to bring that up against you, I feel like, first of all, that's petty as fuck. Okay, this is my show. I talk the way I want to on this show, people. I ain't gotta be politically correct. I'll be politically correct when I talk to the mayor. I'm not a politician anymore. I'll be politically correct when I talk to the mayor. Okay, but for now, this is my homie. This is my business bestie. Yeah. We gonna talk like we supposed to. That's bullshit. That was bullshit. And personally, I know it was just a way for the petty ass board, the old people, the old guards who didn't like the noise you were bringing to find an excuse to get rid of you.
Absolutely. One of the things that came up that a lot of people, just information people were privy to when the news broadcast the story or aired the story, they were talking about, cell phone pings, cell phone tower.
Yeah, I remember all that.
Here versus being where she said she was. And it's like, well, I'm moving around consistently. But the fact of the matter is, when I ran for office, I think that the end of that year or the following year, we were going through redistricting. Right. So our maps were changing. And so at any given moment, I could have been in District 5 and then been in District 4 or District 3.
Exactly.
It depends. And we as a board decided what maps we were going to go with, which changed some things, which gave me the majority of the schools and gave me a broader population that I had to serve. Right. But it didn't change the residency piece. The interesting part, when the media aired the district attorney's investigation, they were talking about cell phone tower pings. And it's like, well, if I cross the street, I'm in District 4, but you're saying that I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You really don't know where I'm at, but you're going based on this data. And so I was prepared to have my day in court.
You could have been at your boyfriend's house. You could have been dating a neighbor. They don't know.
I could have been at family house.
You could have been at family house.
Another residency in the district. I could have been in District 4, but you're looking at this address specifically versus that address that's on file, and you're saying I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Who are you to tell me where I'm supposed to be? The school system has been doing that for years, because that's the whole entire, your mom live over here, but your address is your auntie crib over there. So you technically can't go to the school. And it's like, but why? And I understand the legal aspect of it. If you are elected to represent a specific demographic in a certain area, that is where you need to yourself reside. I get it. But the reality is, to your point, you have a lot of elected officials for various reasons, right, who are not where they say they are.
But here's the thing that bothered me about the whole situation. It's not like you wasn't still where you needed to be. Right. It would be different if 5 o'clock, you clock out, you drive over to the south side, and that's it. You're done with what is going on in District 4. No, you were still in the trenches. And in the crazy part, with you even being no more than going to the corner of your block, making the difference of whether or not you were in 4 or 5, you were still boots to the ground the minute you got up. You were still working with the districts, working with the schools, working with the teachers, working with the kids, you were still doing your job.
Absolutely. Going above and beyond.
Above and beyond.
And that's the part, that's why I wanted my day in court. I wanted to fight that fight, because when you're in politics and you stay true to your campaign slogans and your campaign promises of being a chronic disruptor, you know that you're going to get some enemies. You know that you're going to rock the boat. And that's what we promised to be on the campaign trail. Right. Our campaign slogan was chronic disruptors of educational inequity. And I promised to educate my constituents. And it's like, if I can't get anything done on that board, I still got a job to do, because I work for the people.
Exactly. So during your time frame of all of this, did you actually see any change?
No. And hindsight being 2020, being out of the fight, the struggle now, I realized that my mistake in it was thinking that I could change MPS. I pity any fool who thinks that they can change that system. Some systems are designed to be and operate in the way that they do, and there's no changing it. And when people like myself or those long before me come and attempt to make changes, you are you're punished because of it. You're reprimanded. There's consequences, because it's a no-no to buck up against the system. It's a no-no to attempt to think that you can change this, let alone put in that work.
Okay.
And so, that was my mistake, thinking that I could change Milwaukee Public Schools, because the reality is it's not going to change.
All right.
It's not going to change.
Now, since then, Milwaukee Public Schools on so many occasions have been under fire.
Right after I stepped off the board, everything that I was saying.
Everything. And that's why I'm bringing that up. That's why I started with that situation and bringing that up, because money went missing. Representatives, people who were being a stone wall, all of a sudden are now, the target of questions in regards to the school system. How did you feel that after you went through all of that and you being punished for being the black sheep of the school board and realizing your day in court is now coming now? How did you feel in that situation when you were seeing all that going on?
I can answer that in many different ways.
You answer as real as I know you are.
I am. First thing, when I stepped down, I felt vindicated.
Okay.
Well, no, I felt humiliated, and I felt like I had failed the people that I made promises to, the people in the city of Milwaukee who were counting on me and so many others to be the change that was needed. And so I felt like a failure. But then when all of these things started to come out about financial mismanagement and alleged misappropriation of funds, it was just like I felt vindicated. And that feeling came because it was like, if nothing else, I did what I could to educate you all, to open your eyes to things. So even if I didn't get a policy passed or make significant changes to like the district, I knew that I left leaving people more educated than they were before I came in. And I was proud of that.
Which made them start questioning things that were going on that led to all the other investigations that was born out of that.
And it's still questions and it's still investigations. Like the fight isn't over.
It's never going to be over. We just basically going to have to burn the whole school system down and start over.
Create our own.
We try. And that's why you have so many schools out here like Howard Fuller, Hope, a few other ones out there. Those are just the two big.
College Prep, Carmen. Among American Peace Academy. Like there's so many amazing infrastructures, and our children need those options. Our families need those options.
And that's one thing that I've kind of been indifferent in, and this is probably going to be one of the most controversial things I could ever say, but it's still true. I feel like one of the worst things that happened to the black community, was a desegregation of the school systems.
But you're not the only person that think or feel that.
I feel like we needed to improve the resources for the black community, but once we started integrating and started following the same curriculum as them, it gave them more control over what could be taught and can't be taught. Because the black community, or I won't even say the black community, the minority communities, the public school system, these things you are taught to regurgitate information. Okay. You are taught what they want you to know. Meanwhile, these other school systems are taught how to think. That's why they're taught based off the SATs compared to the ACTs. And that's their measuring stick in regards to things. Your ACTs just how much of this information can you retain and say back to us in a short manner as a worker? How much of this worker job can you do on your own that I don't have to manage you? Meanwhile, these other schools are taught, how do you run a business? How do you manage a corporation? How do you put yourself in these legal positions where you can be at home and your business is running on your own by all the individuals that you've hired who just regurgitate information? And I feel like we're now kind of doing exactly that. We're resegregating the school systems back. Blacks are making their own school programs. Hmongs have their own school systems. No matter Hispanic community. Oh, and I tell you, living on the South Side, I did not know how many Spanish speaking orientated schools are out there. And I'm talking, they are huge populations of them. Huge, nice facilities, big facilities. I'm like, where did school come from? I was leaving work on Miller Park one day and made a left turn by mistake and found the whole school ducked off. And it's literally just nothing but Hispanic descent students.
But the problem, I think now, while we're going to a model that some of our historical fighters of injustices and whatnot, like I think Malcolm X. The problem with desegregation or segregation now is we're resource deprived and we're so far behind the mark. And so it's like what it's going to take for our children to catch up, to be globally competitive is going to require so many more resources. And we've been resource deprived and just robbed. And I call it poverty pimping.
Right. I agree with you, but I feel like now we have more access to things. We just got to sometimes just change what we use things for to make it better. I'll give you a prime example. The biggest controversy right now when it comes to most of social media, other than little orange dude being stupid, is AI right now.
Artificial intelligence.
Okay. AI right now is a real big deal to the point where the community itself is divided on it. You have some people who stop using AI, it's killing the planet. Meanwhile, you got other people who are running whole businesses on the back of it. I'm an example. AI is integrated in my business on so many levels that something that I normally would need 8 to 10 people to run consistently now only need 4. And it's not that I don't want to hire 8 to 10 people, but if I hire 8 to 10 people, I need you to do more skill level things. Let this AI automation do the bulk of the work for us. And because of this, we can utilize these same tools to be better for our children.
Absolutely.
Instead of teaching our kids how to make memes and make cool pictures and alter the way they look so they can go ahead and fit the mold of an image that society wants you to be, let's teach them how to properly program with it.
Absolutely.
Let's teach them how to research and go deeper to find the truth in regards to it. Do you know right now one of the fastest growing industries is AI management and AI consultants? I could literally go right now and go online and put my resume as an AI consultant and walk off with a 6-figure job. And all I'm doing is teaching other people how to properly use AI.
Yep, absolutely. I have a friend who's like dominating the game. Shout out to Carrie Phelps, but she's doing amazing work with the AI consultant. And I mean, she's taught me some things that are just mind blowing. And it's like, how do you work smarter, not harder? How do you scale
Right.
at an expedited rate? How do you save and front load or delegate through technology and not people that you actually have to pay? Like
Right.
AI is taking over. And
It is,
it's
and it's not
amazing.
going anywhere. So I don't know
Mhm.
why everybody's fighting it. Just go ahead and accept that Skynet will be here soon. And if you give yourself value now, they'll keep you alive when the
Mhm.
machines uprise. But no, and I feel like this is a lane that the younger generation can easily slide into right now.
They're already doing it. They're
And I know they
masters
are.
of it.
And that's what I'm saying. So maybe when it comes to our community, let's not try to be like the Joneses, but let's create our own lanes over here for the Douglases.
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's unfortunate because if only our school systems, our K through 12 systems adapt that mindset, imagine the success and the advancement and the progress that our students would demonstrate. Like one of the things I think about when I think about our American educational system is how far behind we are in comparison to other countries.
It's not even funny.
And we keep being beat at our own game. We have the resources, we have the access, we have the advancement of technology and everything else, but yet our children continue to be so far behind. And it's like we need our systems to adapt to the times. We need our systems to catch up.
We need our systems to reset. Because even when you look, let's talk about other cultures. Even the cultures that are here in America with us, who are all individual, every other culture has two languages. Mm-hmm. Okay. They have their native language, and then they have English. Yes, the Black community doesn't have an alternate language, but what's stopping us from learning that?
And I mean, some people would argue against that and say we do have our own unique.
We have our own unique language, but once you step out of our community, our language is
English.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So I can go over by Japan, and they'll speak English to me, and they can understand me, but I can't understand them. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fish out of water.
Yep.
But every other culture can go every other place, and they can talk their language and even talk English. So they can always be able to communicate, translate, and more importantly, still be able to create a networking.
And I think to that point, just putting my educator hat on, like when we talk
that's
about,
why you're here.
English, language arts, and literacy skills, even reading, we should look more into like English as a second language curriculums, because individuals who come from other countries and migrate to the United States, they have to adapt to this culture and learn this language, and they do so, and then they thrive. And so it's like, what's in those curriculums, what's in that teaching that we're missing the mark on, because they come from other countries and have to adapt to a new way of life, a new culture that includes a new language, and have to be immersed into that in order to thrive. And we have individuals that are natural born citizens here who have not grasped the concepts.
I will say this because both my girls went to Spanish immersion.
I remember.
Okay. One thrived. The other one sunk like a rock.
No child, no two children are the same. No
and
child.
I get that. And I Tiana, which is my youngest, I always use her as the perfect case study.
Okay.
No, for real. When I talk to educators, when I talk to therapists, when I talk to my coaching community, I always say Tiana is the perfect case study. Number one, she started school during the pandemic. See,
God bless her.
You see what I'm saying? So right there off top, everybody, we never thought about the ones who started in the pandemic. We only focused on the ones that were graduating in the pandemic. So when you sit back and you look at kindergarten, which is your most important time, because that's when you're learning motor skills, social skills. Absolutely. You're learning those bare cores, your early learning things. You had to learn it through a computer.
Yeah.
You had to sit on a Zoom call with how many other kids who are in the exact same space that you're in and experience education for the very first time that way. Number two, she got to see her sister experience Head Start. Okay. So her sister, for about maybe 2 years, 3 years, experienced school in a positive light. She started Head Start at Sherman Multicultural. Okay. So she was already put it in what could proverbially be known as a gifted program.
Yeah.
All right. Tiana had the high expectations. Oh, I'm going to be in this program too, because the leader of the program at the time loved Lily, loved Tiana, loved our family as a whole. But Tiana has a caveat issue that I feel like MPS needs to throw away as well too. Tiana doesn't turn 6 until November.
Oh, that part.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So because she doesn't turn the right age until the middle of the school year, she couldn't start. So initially they were going to loophole her and kind of like let her start. But the director at the time got removed from her position, something similar to what happened to you. Okay. And the new person said, nah, you got to wait. We'll get you in the spring because you're our poster family. So we'll get you in there in the spring. Tiana was cool with that. She was like, okay, I get to hang out with Granny a little bit longer, because she used to stay home with my moms. Used to hang out with Granny a little bit longer. But when the spring come around, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Spring came and went. Didn't. Now you got to wait till next year. Came around. I don't know what happened to the program at the time, but they had paused enrollment.
Oh.
Yeah. So Tiana had
what year was this? This was 2021.
21. It was pre-pandemic for sure.
Okay.
It was definitely. So it may have been 19.
Yeah, I was just
so it was
like
it was 19.
2019.
It was 19. It was 19. It was pre-pandemic. So it was before you got in there.
Yep.
They had paused. They had paused the program. So once again, Tiana had to sit out. Now we still, taught her whole thing, but her experience for school started to sour a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So when Lily finished up, she stayed at Sherman for first grade, getting ready to get into the second grade. She got accepted into Spanish immersion. Okay. Got some strings pulled. One of her teachers from Head Start was like, my kid's over here. I'm going to get you in too. Yeah. Lily went over there. Yeah. So Lily, excited, learning Spanish, flourishing. Now it's time for Tiana to start school. Tiana thinks she's going to Sherman. Okay. She wanted to go where the blacks were. She wanted to go where her people were. Okay. She was excited. She wanted to be in this gym. She wanted to be on this stage. She wanted to be at this school. Because Lily was in Spanish immersion, Tiana automatically got accepted into Spanish immersion.
Yeah, absolutely. Not quite.
Then the pandemic hit. Now, because it was a Zoom call, my child is a very audio person. She takes things literally that are said to her. If you say at 4:30, I will be home and we are going to go do this. If I am not walking in that door at 4:25 and we're walking out the door at 4:30, my child's whole life has stopped. And it will not move until what we said we were going to do, we're going to do.
She likes structure.
Very much like structure. She got order. She got order. Okay. Even in the morning. Her mom cannot handle her in the morning. Only I could. All right.
Okay.
But because it's a Zoom call, she has to hear the teacher. Unfortunately, Spanish immersion speaks Spanish first, talk English second.
Yeah.
Because you're talking to a group of individuals who already understand Spanish.
And that's the mission of the school.
Exactly.
To
so English is really a second language, even though they take in a lot of English speaking kids and help them integrate into the Spanish culture.
Similar to French immersion.
Exactly.
Or Italian immersion.
But they speak to the Spanish community first. Lily catches on with no problem. Lily blew it out the water. The only problem was Lily didn't know how to shut up. She get that from her dad. So that's cool. That's why.
Get it from me from a distance.
That's from her dad. That's why I own a whole network that requires you to talk. It works. Okay. But Tiana, I didn't understand what you said. What? Nope, I'm done. I don't want to hear it. Tiana literally would not participate in kindergarten. Like literally shut down the whole kindergarten. So through the pandemic, I think like towards the end of the second semester, they let the kids come into class. At this point in time, Everybody is strangers. This environment is strange. She don't want to be here. I said, Tiana, let's just make it through. You only got 2 years. At least go in here, have some fun, enjoy kindergarten, do what you can to make this work. She rolled out those 2 months, didn't like it, came back the next year. Now, here's a full school experience. You get the walking in, the red carpet, the hey, we're happy to have you, get all of that. They talk Spanish first, English second. Completely shut down. Didn't want to do it. When I tell you first grade was a fight with her mom just to get her in the building sometimes, because she was very adamant about structure to begin with. So if you happen to come to school after that bell rang, she didn't want to be in there.
And it was an unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, she didn't like it. She did not like it. She did not like it.
And I think the other part too, we at that time, you're also teaching little ones, babies, who are not fully developed cognitively and physically, how to socialize all over again. And so it was a significant disruption.
It was a big deal. Now, when it came to her learning process, if she's at home, she's talkative, she's smart, she's active. It was the norm. So another year later, second grade, she's still there. We like, Tiana, just come on. Just if you make it to this time, you're in the same building as your sister now, because Spanish immersion had 2 separate buildings. So now you're in the same building with your sister. You're around your sister. You got your classmates. You make the friends. She went through the whole entire second grade without saying a single word when she's at school. Not a single word. They thought something was wrong with her. They thought that she wasn't understanding the curriculum. They were literally giving her kindergarten-based work to make her do work. What they wasn't understanding is when you were giving her kindergarten work, she was feeling disrespected now. Why are you giving me this simple little stuff? It's like making me read Run, Jane, Run when I can read Hamlet. You know, and that's how she was feeling. So, and when we sat down and literally would have a conversation with her, it was like, I just don't like the Spanish part. So third grade, tried to talk her mom into letting her go to a new school. It's like, come on, I'll go find a school for her. Right. Third grade, her mom let her stay there one more year because Lily was in her last year there. Okay. So because of the age issue, they're 3 grades apart instead of 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that was another thing. She didn't like being the tall kid, the oldest kid. So you don't talk. You don't understand what's going on because the teacher's talking Spanish first. You shut down. You don't want to socialize because you wasn't taught social skills. The only person you ever hung out with is your sister. So you don't know how to hang out with people who don't speak Spanish outside of your sister. You are a fish out of water. And this is a very awkward situation. And it's making you depressed. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, Tiana? I'm putting you in a whole new school. So I went and I found the most jubilant, active, English only speaking school. She ended up going to no. We still stayed on the south side. It's Fairview. Fairview. Phenomenal school. Phenomenal school. I love the school. I did all my work on that school. I even sat down and buddied up with the principal. Like we tight like this. So she's in, she's good. She started off okay because she's like, okay, I'm in a school and moved. She hanging out with the middle schoolers, right? When they go on recess, then all of a sudden one day she just shut down. Didn't want to go there no more. I don't like it. I don't want to be here. Are you being bullied? No, I'm not being bullied. Do you not want to socialize? No, I don't want to socialize. So for her birthday, because her birthday is in November, she was like, hey, Tiana, you want to throw a party? It's like, yeah, I want to throw a party. You want to invite all your classmates? Yeah, they can come on.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so it's not. So I'm thinking, it's like, no, it's not that. And we ended up having it at Sky Zone. Her whole class came. Aww. I was surprised because I know my baby. She don't like people. Okay. So for her whole class to come and they was there and they won. And when I tell you, she stayed about as far as I am from the rest of the class. You would feel like someone told her all of them got COVID and she stayed away from them. Like she did not she did not want to interact with them or nothing. And it was one particular girl in her class that really, really wanted to be her friend. And after it was all said and done, I sat down and asked her, like, what's going on? She's like, this is too much. She's like, this was overwhelming. It's like,
social anxiety.
Yeah. So she has very high social anxiety.
Yeah,
So we made it
skyrocketed during the
pandemic. It's like all this. So I said she's a perfect case study. So I sat down with her and I was like, what do you want there? Because we got to find out something. Like at this point in time, Tiana, you can't keep shutting down. You can't stop this. You're going to fall behind to a point where it's kind of going to be hard to get you caught back up. You got to learn how to be a people person, because only psychopaths stay to themselves. You know, I keep it realistic with my kids. And she was like, Daddy, I want to be homeschooled. I was like, you got to earn homeschool. It's like, what do you mean? I was like, you got to ride this school year out. Give me your best effort for the rest of the school year. And if you can give me your best effort, when I mean you genuinely are going to class, you are being active, you are trying to participate, trying to make a friend, you give me all that, I'll give you homeschool.
I love that. I love that you gave her that option and took into consideration what she wanted, because a lot of us parents don't. I'm
very, very different with my kids. One, we came from the generation where our parents worked, was always gone, and physical discipline was the number one action.
Oh, you are to be seen and not heard.
Right. And a lot of times I have girls, so I can't never not hear my girls. Because niggas is weird.
Not niggas.
Yeah, like niggas is weird, and the last thing I need is for my girls to be put in a situation and they don't feel like they can come to me about it, to the point where that person manipulates them. I don't ever want my girls to feel like they can never be honest about anything with me. I don't even care if it's something you did wrong. Like if it's your fault, you should still be okay with coming to tell me, okay, Daddy, so I took this, but when I took this situation happened. It's like, all right, we'll talk about that later, because you shouldn't have did that. What happened? Who it was, where it was, what was this?
Keeping that open line of
communication. So I'm still good. I'm not mad at you. We're going to talk about that later, because there's a reason why you did that, and this is the outcome for it. And I talk to them like adults. I don't chastise them. I don't get angry with them or anything like that. I genuinely sit down and I talk to them like actual little human beings. And Tiana is always the funniest one about it. So when she was younger and she used to fall on the floor and just throw these temper tantrums, when we grew up, our parents would have put belt to ass.
Oh, yeah, we wouldn't have had a chance.
We wouldn't have had a chance to throw temper tantrum. Now, she'll throw a temper tantrum at home, and I'll sit there and I'll look at her like, you done? And literally, she'll look at me like, no. All right, go ahead and get that out your system. And I'll go back and do whatever I'm doing. I'm not giving, I told you can't do this, so you throwing a temper tantrum is not going to get that to you. And I ask her, give her about 5 more minutes. She'll sit there. She'll be mad and upset and just, are you done? Yeah. So what you mad for? I really want that. Why? I don't know. You don't need it. You just want it because you want it. Yeah, but why can't I have it? Because you could get something else with that instead. Like what? Well, you did want this over there. Guess what? If you take that and put it towards that, you can have that instead. I can. Like, yeah. So do you still want this? No, I don't want it now. So you just did all that for nothing. And then she don't do it no more. She don't throw temper tantrums no more. Now she just expresses herself. She just tells me. She just talks. And she ended up getting homeschooling. She won. Because she did what I asked her to do, and I think that was the biggest thing. I just wanted her to try it. I just wanted you to try to socialize. She ended up making a couple of friends. She just refused to call them. Look, she told me, Daddy, you didn't say I had to keep in contact with them. You just said I had to make friends. I was like, you know what? You're right. All right, so let's find out what this homeschooling program like. But unfortunately, that experiment didn't go well. Mostly because me and her mom's schedule could not coincide to be
homeschooling is a beast.
It's a beast. Now her mom changed up her schedule now, so this second semester we may have a better opportunity with her. But the first semester, my baby slept all day. She did work whenever she wanted to. she told her granny she had stuff done, but granny don't know what's going on that computer. So
granny wasn't checking. So
granny wasn't checking.
Okay.
I mean, Tiana is playing games on her phone and playing games on the computer. So granny thought she was working the whole time. All of a sudden it's the end of the semester and you got like 5 papers, 3 reports, 17 exams you got to do. And we don't find out about this until 4 hours before the semester is over. So you don't get a failing grade. But it's different now. But I always say my baby's my test subject.
And I think to your point, that's why students need options, parents and students, because what works for one child doesn't necessarily work for the other. And so having options, whether it be a gifted and talented school versus a Montessori school or a traditional school versus a homeschool, and like our children need those options in order to maximize their fullest potential.
And that's why I like the fact that we do have so many non-MPS schools in the city of Milwaukee. When I was younger, I used to be like, why are there so many schools? There ain't those many damn kids in this city for us to have these many different schools. But as I got older and I looked at it, like, you need that. Not just because of my kids, but you need that. Because Lily literally fought me to go to to go to MSL. Like, I was going to put her in Fairview too. Like, okay, both of y'all could be right here. It's right down the street. Y'all both was like, Daddy, I really want to go to MSL. I was like, why do you want to go to MSL? My child rolled in the blackboard, gave me a whole PowerPoint presentation and explained to me how she can succeed if she went to MSL. I was
just going to add to that, though. There was a point where MPS had those different types of schools, focus on.
We grew up in that. I always tell everybody that we grew up in an era where, even though somebody can say they went to this school, they walked out with something that was unique to their learning experience. Yep. Like, we grew up in, like, no matter what, Riverside and King will always be put on a pedestal above every other school. But if you went to North Division, you walked out with a medical knowledge that nobody else had.
Or you went to Washington and you had a tech.
You had a computer basis, so you were prepared. You went to Juneau, where your financial skills were above and beyond anything that anybody else taught. Yep. You was on par with some of the suburban schools when it came to what you knew mathematically. Every school had a solid core specialty that made that school have something unique about you. Because I remember I lived 3 blocks away from North Division. I did not want to go to North Division because of what they made North Division seem like. But then when I started and I walked in, because I went to a private school prior to before I started high school. Fun fact, a lot of people don't know that. I went to a private school. I was bougie in a bitch. But when I went to North, I say within maybe 3 months, all that bouginess went out the door. And it was
they humbled. They got you together.
No, it wasn't even that. No, it wasn't that. It was crazy. No, they didn't humble me. No. What made it go out the door was I actually now were interacting with my neighborhood. And that was the biggest thing. My mom kept me sheltered from my neighborhood, which is why I ended up going to private schools and go to different learning. Yes, I still went to a couple of the schools. I went to Lee School, which was literally on the corner. I could literally stand on my front porch and you can watch me walk in the door. That's how close I was to that school. I went to Robert Fulton Middle School, aka Malcolm X, aka African American Immersion, aka Rufus King Intermediate School, whatever the hell it wants to be, depending on what year you went there. I was there. I was only there for like a brief moment in time because unfortunately there was a little violence that went outside, and my mom was like, "Nope, bring your ass. We going back to this private school." And I finished up my middle school years there, but I got in there and I experienced my neighborhood. Yeah. I experienced blackness, and I experienced the medical side of things, something that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Same thing with me. So, like, I went to Ronald E. McNair
School
of Science, Space, and Aviation that later turned into, I think, Milwaukee Excellence at one point was there, and I don't know what other schools.
Is that school down the street from Channel 12?
I don't think so. No. This was off of Hampton, off of like maybe 24th and Hampton. I think that's Fairmount, maybe. But it was a school. It was our community school.
Whatchamacallit got it now?
I don't think anybody has it.
Isn't that where college prep is now?
No, Milwaukee Excellence used to be there,
or it was Milwaukee Excellence. Yep,
yeah, they're not there anymore. Obviously, they merged with Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy. But to your point, that was a school that focused on science, space, and aviation.
That was right around the corner from my house when I lived in North Lawn.
Yes, right outside of North Lawn.
Right now, I know what it is. I always wonder what the hell was in there.
And then I went to Audubon because they whatever, don't hate. It was the best experience. And my teachers were blackety black. Excellent.
No, I always say that because Audubon was one of them schools where you heard somebody went there, but you never knew where it was.
And I chose Audubon, one, because at the time my dad gave me the option to choose.
Right.
Or he gave me the option to choose. Most of my elementary school buddies were going to Jackie Robinson or Sarah Scott or Burroughs. And I'm like, what's the longest ride away from home? But then they had the activities that I loved. Right. And so I went to Audubon. So it was a commute from the north side to the south side. But it was a very unique experience. And again, I had some of the best educators. Yeah. And then I chose Washington. Because at the time, Washington was one of the leading schools in sports. We were dominating certain sports. Yes, we were. Washington was one of the best.
It's not even that. It's the fact that you went from Audubon to Washington. Like, that is such a culture shock in not a bad way.
It was, and it wasn't. It was because when you're on the south side, you're heavily immersed in Hispanic.
Right, culture. It's a very multicultural area over there because you can be heavy in Hispanic community. You could see poor white. You could see
Alvernal right there.
Yeah, you got all that.
Yeah. You all of those dynamics, and then to go to Washington. You had sports, and that was the focus, but also it was a school that focused on information technology, and so it was a specialty school back then where it was almost like choosing a major.
Showing our age on the low.
But you know what? It was a great time to be around. It was a great time.
I always tell everybody, especially when I let people know that I go to North Division. It's like, oh, you went to North. I could tell. It's like, no, you can't.
Devil.
No, you can't tell because one, the part of North Division that most people don't see or don't know about is the positive stuff that they won't talk about. Yeah. Like, they won't talk about the medical prep. They won't talk about the track team that we had that went state with only 6 people, and I was one of them, and stuff like that. They don't talk about the things that are good. They don't talk about how they're helping the community and all those positivities that are going on there. You only focus on the fact that Marshall, Custer, and North Division was the dumping ground for the kids who they did not want to try to save.
And it's unfortunately still that to this day. North Division was one of my favorite schools. Like, that was one of the schools that I wanted to be a part of the transformation in honor of those that came before me. Like, my grandmother had 13 children.
Oh my.
And of her 13 children, the majority of them went to and graduated from North Division.
Exactly.
And so it was just like, it was a part of my family's legacy. And there's so many great people, Black people that came out of North Division. It was just like a time to be alive and a time to experience what it was like to be a Blue Devil. And so representing District 4, that was the school. It was just like, if I don't do nothing else,
you got to get North together.
North Division.
North was very hard to get together because people didn't want to give North a chance.
Yeah.
Even when I was there, it was not looked upon as being good because I think our graduating class at that time was 35 total students.
35. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sounds about right today.
And
that's maybe a little bit more.
And the crazy part about it was that was actually considered a good number at that time.
And a school that big.
Exactly.
That blows my mind.
Like, it was, I think we were one of the first schools that started integrating a middle school or other schools into the building, with the exception of those specialty situations like y'all Lady Pitts at Custard and when they first started breaking up, what was it, Pleasant View, where it was like the special needs school at first.
So,
because it used to be one over there on the corner of Fond du Lac and Capitol. That school right there used to be a special needs school because that's where my baby brother ended up going when he first got diagnosed with autism.
I know Ginsland
and
is the
then
school
and that's what
now.
the other one. That's the main one now because they eventually built that one up to be the special needs. But for a while, they were just popping them in different places. Like, here, you can occupy this space for a while until we get something permanent for y'all. But North was big, and I love the fact that it was one of the newer schools, and it was one of the original high schools. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that North Division, South Division, Riverside, Lincoln,
West Division, also known
West
as High
Division,
School of the Arts,
were the 5 original schools, high schools. Everybody else came later. So when North got redone, because I seen a photo of old North, I was like, ooh, I could never go there.
And North Division is one of the most beautiful, to me, in my opinion. North Division and Washington are two of my favorite buildings for so many different reasons. But you walk into there, it's like murals, specifically North. You see just the history laid out.
You see blackness everywhere,
and it just made you feel pride.
Exactly.
Very proud to be Black in the city of Milwaukee. And then at the time, the neighborhoods were thriving. It wasn't that I would say that narrative of the 53206. This was before gentrification, when Black families were thriving.
This was back when home ownership actually was a thing.
There you go.
And that's literally what it is. When they started giving renters the opportunity to have something better for cheaper, as long as you went somewhere else, home ownership went down. Nobody wanted to keep Big Mama's house because the cost to keep Big Mama's house repaired was more than it would have cost for you to pay the $600 rent for this 2-bedroom if you moved out to Brown Deer in the Meadows. Not realizing
that it's all an experiment,
social, economical experiment. Because when I tell you, I periodically would go back to my old neighborhood. So that little strip of 10th Street from North Division all the way to North Avenue, I can barely find anything that recognizes my history. When I look at my block, only one house on my block still exists from when I used to live over there. And that's only because it's owned by a former superintendent.
And it's crazy. So I grew up in Hillside.
I'm sorry to hear
at
that.
the time. Nope, don't hate. It was.
I was North. I was Latin Park. So
I don't want to fight you on your podcast.
Like, fam, I will LP for life, baby girl.
No,
don't go there.
Latham Park, though.
That was LP for life.
Yep. So we were there and Hillside. But just to speak to my representation in District 4. I grew up there. That was all that I knew, and that's the heart, in my opinion, of District 4. But it was a different time. It was a different community, different culture, different type of people. And unfortunately, that's kind of faded and have become a distant memory.
Yes, because Latin Park does not look like Latin Park anymore.
It doesn't.
It is Carver Park.
Carver.
I don't know who. I don't know who stays in Carver Park.
Man, when Reader's Choice shut down, I was just like, I quit. I'm moving, because it was staples in the community that all of us Black children just had to look forward to. It was oh my God, I don't even have the words. Things are so different these days.
And it's unfortunately this city can't get back to that without doing a complete reset, which is funny because that's actually one of the things that when I sit down with the mayor later this month, that's going to be part of our conversation in regards to like the school system and the improvement. And it's a million, because he has this 1 million residents initiative that he's trying to implement. So how are we going to make that happen when we got whole blocks that only got 3 houses on it? But that's a whole nother conversation here, and I don't want to keep you too much longer because I miss you. And as you can see, we got a lot to talk. We gonna do this more often, right? We got more to talk about. We got more things, but I'm glad to have you back on the show. TDR missed you.
And thank you for having me.
But we will talk more. But how can people find you?
I don't want to be found.
Okay, so what she said is she don't want to be found, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay.
Let me say this. I went through almost 2 years of I feel like life support.
Okay.
And it was just the complete disruption to everything that was normal to me. And so to now, and I want people to know this too.
Okay.
Just because the criminal part of the case is over,
right,
the case is still going.
Of course.
Now it's my time to fight back against false allegations,
and we're going
false
to talk about that.
charges, all of that. And so I say all of that to say I needed that time outside of the limelight. I needed that time to focus on myself. I have a daughter that's a freshman at Alabama State. Shout out to my baby girl, my little homie. But now that I'm out of that part,
Right.
I have to gear up for this next fight. And then the fight after that, while also still being invested and concerned about the state of education in the city of Milwaukee. So I say all of that to say, I like being low. Politics was not really for me.
You haven't had an opportunity to be low in so long.
Yeah, and here's the thing. People think I wanted to be a politician. I didn't.
No.
I felt like that was my calling. I felt like God chose me to do it. I knew that I was going to be courageous enough to tell the truth, and I knew that there were going to be consequences.
Right.
And so it's like, what's a warrior without stripes? But the warrior got to rest. And
so
I'm in a phase now where it's like, how do I rebuild, rebrand, heal? So all jokes aside, like I'm trying to focus on maintaining my sanity and redefining myself and everything else. I don't want to be found.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. The one thing, like you said, a warrior needs to have time to rest too. After every war, they don't go right back out to the next fight. No, they go home, they heal their wounds, they hang out with their family, they go eat a good meal, and then they contemplate whether or not they're gonna go back to the next fight or they're gonna wait for the one hour.
Come back. Like I'm still fighting.
Right. You got your whole other situation. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about that because I want to focus solely
silently on these days.
Yeah, well, I want to focus on that as holistically, because like I said, you have a whole nother situation that happened after all of that, but we got to talking about our childhood and education system. Like you know what, let's stop there. Okay. But we're gonna talk about that later. But you do need your time, you do need your break, you do need to step away from everything to figure out what you want to do, because now you're not on the defense, you're now on the offense.
Oh yeah.
And now with you being on the offense this time around, your attack may look a little bit different. Your approach may look at it. It has to. You know, you don't have to worry about what they can throw on you. No, it's all about what you can do. Now you got to protect yourself. Yeah. And I feel like this is a situation you could definitely win.
Oh, I feel like it's God's will this time around, because I'm practicing more obedience, and through that, like, there's nothing I can't do through Christ that strengthens me. And so this is that phase where it's obedience, it's moving in silence, it's still fighting, but fighting in a different way. So another conversation.
It is another conversation. We will have that conversation. So we'll probably have it again before this month is over with.
Let's go.
Because yeah, you're my homie. And we definitely got to talk about that stuff. So with that being said, people, make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to your podcast at. Make sure you also check us out on YouTube. I have 2 YouTube channels. Of course, where I come from has its own YouTube channel where all my past episodes, you may even be able to find the one that me and her did the very first time, is on there. But also there's TDR. TDR Network has its own YouTube channel. We are actually actively working towards to get to 1,000 subscribers. I really haven't been caring too much about the YouTube channel, but now people are telling me I really need to build it up. So if you are watching this video, go to TDR Network 414. I forgot to change the name. TDR Network 414 on YouTube, and just like, share, and subscribe as well too. When I tell you there are so many episodes on there from all the shows I've ever done, old shows, new shows, current lives going on. It's probably a live on that episode, on that podcast right now on that channel. Go there, check it out, support, leave comments, because it's a lot of deep conversations. There's some even deeper than this. Go back and find you know what? If you go back and you find the episode that she was on, I'll give you $10.
Well, make sure y'all share it with me.
I'm gonna send it to you probably before this week is over. It's out there.
That was one of my favorite podcasts. That was one of my faves.
That's when we became besties.
I so appreciate you for giving me access and a platform to speak on the things that were really important to me. It's more than I could ever ask. So thank you.
That's what TDR is here for, is to give the voice to the voiceless.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, people, we are about to get out of here because your boy is hungry. All right, so peace.